Hello, we are live. StreamYard is so funny because I just got off Zoom, but StreamYard like actually is the opposite of Zoom. So like your face, like if I touch my hair here, it doesn't feel like I'm actually touching my hair there. Yeah, it's so weird.
I was trying to like adjust myself and I was like making it worse. So yes, it's weird.
It's a weird one. So for those watching the replay, welcome. This is a She Built This Live and Learn. And basically what it is just a casual conversation about different things that we as women entrepreneurs either face as struggles in our business or things that we just want to learn more about. So hi, and if you are putting comments in, some of you pop up and it says Facebook user, and we like to know who's here. So if you want to put a comment in, tell us who's watching, then we can say hi to you directly. So that will be fun. Yeah. Most of you know who I am. I'm Emily Aborn, the owner of She Built This and a content writer. And I'm here today with Deanna Seymour, who's going to tell you about herself. But this lady is basically the queen of reels, I would say. Like you have an entire membership focused on keeping it real. So we're going to get into that and like why you might consider using reels in your business, and then just how to overcome some of like the feelings that you might have towards reels. And Deanna, before we get into all that, I'm gonna let you tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay. Also, you're going to have permission to not do reels if you don't want to today. So don't stop watching. If you hate reels, like hear me out. We'll talk about it. But also, I'm not the queen of the reels in the sense of saying like everyone needs to do reels. They're amazing. Some people it might not be for. Emily Aborn. But anyways, just don't be scared yet.
I tried to. I did one of my feet and I did one of my dog. That's my quota.
Yes. So yeah, don't be scared. But I'm Deanna Seymour, and I am a graphic designer by trade who helps service providers, coaches, anybody who like actually is almost their product. I help those people really get serious about their personal brand and show up as authentically as they can so that they're attracting their perfect clients. Because when you're your product, I feel like you can't really like hide too much. You got to like put it out there and like the people who are your people will find you. So that's what I do.
I love it. You help people bring their personalities to their brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. And we have Amanda and Lindsay here. So hello, ladies. All right. So first, I think to your point of the fact that you don't need to do reels, like you don't need to be everywhere. And I say this a lot. You know, I know a while back you actually ended up taking a social media break. And so I'd love to hear your reasoning behind that and kind of what you realized from it. And then how that has kind of transitioned now into you doing more reels on social media. Like, how did you go from hating it to now like, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with this?
Yes. Well, the reason I'm saying like you don't have to do it if you don't want to is because that's what made me hate all social media is I was doing everything I was supposed to do, like everything I should do, and trying to post as many times as I was supposed to. Like everyone's supposed to have a free Facebook group. And I'm like, oh, Emily has a group. Like I want to be like, Emily, I'm going to have a group. Like you never told me to have a group, but you just see people doing things that are working for them. And you think, okay, I should try this. I should try this. And I had my hand in like so many different things, trying to keep up with a free Facebook group, like Instagram. I added TikTok because like people were like saying, oh, I grew really fast there. And Clubhouse was just coming in and I was like dabbling in Clubhouse. And I was just trying to be everything to everybody. And it just blew up. And I was like, okay, that's it. I'm walking away from everything so I can just have some quiet time and figure out like what I actually want to do, or if I want to do any of it, or how this is going to go. Mm-hmm. So, because I kept finding myself saying, if I didn't have a business, I just wouldn't even be on social media. And then I was like, well, is there a way I could do it differently? Is there a way I could just work on my email list? Or like, how could this look so that I don't hate what I'm doing? And so I took the break. And then about 4 weeks into the break, I started feeling like I wanted Instagram back. Because like, I mean, I grew up on the yearbook staff as a photographer. And so like photography and just design in general and visuals are really important to me. So I feel like that's the one platform that is the most visual. So that was the one that I was kind of like missing. And I held out for another couple of weeks, but I was like, now I feel like I'm just being a brat because I'm like, okay, I quit everything. I'm going to like keep quitting. But I was like, okay, I'm just going back to Instagram. which now, like being part of She Built This, I snuck back onto Facebook, but it's like an account where I don't have any friends. I'm not going to have any friends. I say on my cover photo, like, follow me on Instagram. But I did feel like I was missing that sort of community, like group aspect. But I don't want to be the leader of the group. I've let go of like needing to be the person who builds everything in my world. So
Yeah.
that's
Good.
where I am. I'm only on Instagram.
Like, I like that you really took a bird's eye view of everything you had and said, like, what can I commit to and be consistent with? And what really I love that you put importance on being part of a group, you know, like you said to yourself, okay, being part of She Built This is important to me. So I'm going to be participating in that, but I don't need to be watching everybody's, you know, I don't know, whatever. I don't know.
Well, it just got out of hand. Like my Facebook started, like I was joining too many groups and
Mhm.
like free group, like anybody can join it, anybody can promote, and like just really, I just always would leave those groups feeling like, not She Built This, but the other groups, like not good enough, or like, oh, I posted something and nobody responded, but somebody else posted and like there's 100 comments, you know, or I felt like I was always leaving Facebook feeling like, I know, it's like, this is not good. And that's even goes for like my personal Facebook. That's why I kind of started like a new secret one. Like I love my cousins, I love my family, but it's just like a lot of stuff on there that I was just like, you know, my sister and I would talk on the phone and be like, oh my God, did you see so-and-so's post? Like, you know, and it's like, oh my gosh, is this what I want to do with all my free time? Like get mad scrolling Facebook. So
All right, so let's transition to talk about reels. And first of all, I'd love to hear like what you thought when you saw them first coming out. I would bet you kind of liked it because you say you're a very visual person.
I did, but it also felt like a lot of work. And also like reels came out when I was also starting to feel the burnout of like, how many more things do we have to do on social media? Like,
Yeah.
and also at the time, like I wasn't making money in my business. So everything I was doing, it just felt like I was working for free. Like I wasn't making any money. I was working my, you know, teacher job and also doing all this stuff. And I was just like, when am I going to make money doing any of this? So I was like, oh, those are fun, but also like, I didn't go to film school. Like, what are these people like jumping into their shoes and like these transitions and this whole like script? Like, what is happening? I was like, who, like, and it seemed like it looked like fun, but I also felt like one more thing I didn't feel like learning, to be honest. Like, I was like, that's going to take too long. So,
Okay, so what changed for you?
so after I took my break and came back, I was like, well, I did like, okay, so I was TikTok was like the tipping point too when I quit because I was like, oh my God, it's too many things. And I quit. But I liked it on TikTok. It took me a long time. Like I remember making my first TikTok and being like, oh my gosh, this thing is like 7 seconds. And it just took me like an hour to make it. And it's not even that good. By the end of the hour, you're like, is this even good? Like, why am I working so hard on this thing? It's taking forever. But it was still like I saw, like I was kind of proud of it when I was done. And I was like, okay, I think I could get faster at this. I get better. And another reason I chose Instagram to come back to was because I felt like it had the most versatility. Like I could just post a photo or I could do like a TikTok, right? We all know Reels is pretty much just a copy of TikTok. So I was like, when I go back to Instagram, I'll like be able to do that. But when I quit TikTok, like some expert had been like post 3 times a day. So I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm posting like whenever I feel like. Like when I can is when I'll make one. So I just took all the pressure off too of like, here's how you do it. You know, if you want to grow, like all the talk around like reels and the algorithm and they're pushing reels, make a reel every day for 30 days. And all these people on here, like, this is how I grew my account, 10,000 followers in 30 days. It just feels like so much pressure.
Yeah.
And
And I think one important thing, I mean, so I definitely want to talk about like how, I mean, it's true. Reels increase your visibility on Instagram. But
yeah,
I also think it's important to touch on the fact that we need to be authentic to who we are when we're making reels. Like to your point, going around copying what everybody else is doing is probably a fast track to burnout. And I would guess that people can tell that you're doing that and it's just like kind of misaligned when they encounter your stuff.
yeah.
So I think those are really important things to keep in mind. So let's talk about like, well, first of all, what have you seen with reels increasing visibility on Instagram?
Well, okay, so I kind of think like I feel like Reels is just a place where I can like not take myself too seriously. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to dance or I don't want to look dumb or whatever. But I feel like for me, like Reels has been a place to like be funnier or be sillier. And I guess really my brand is pretty like silly anyway, so it's not like I'm like stretching that much to do that. So I feel like for me it's just a place like the summer, like me dancing in my pool, to like that 80s song, like I want money. I was like, I want money, but I actually like, and I feel like the words were like, actually, I just want a fair, like I just want to get paid for what I do. Like, and I was just talking about that. But I was like, what's like a funny way I could have the conversation around like doing all the work, like I was just talking, like doing all the work and not getting paid or getting like a fair wage for what I'm doing, but not charging too much, like money mindset. And I was like, how can I just like poke fun at it? And it just reminded me of like a friend in elementary school who at King's Dominion, like the theme park around here in Virginia, like recorded in those booths. Do you remember like in the 80s, you could like record your own music video? And she had one to that song. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to like recreate Laura's I Want Money video. So it's just like a place for me to be silly. I think I might be like wandering off path here. Pull me back.
Okay, I'll pull you back. Okay. So how, like, let's talk about ways, a lot of the reels that we see are people poking at word bubbles, which I don't even know how to do. First of all, I'm like, I don't know how the word bubbles come in and like are different in another game, but that's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to do that and you don't want to dance, like what are some other ideas? How can we use reels in our business if like maybe the word bubble thing isn't for us or dancing? Like I probably won't be, I love dancing, but I probably won't dance on Instagram because nobody wants to see that. Guaranteed. Like
Well,
people at weddings run from me.
I for one want to see it. People should comment in the comment section if you want to see Emily dance on Instagram. But I think a fun one is just like doing like a photo montage. One thing that's really fun and I started doing more of is if you have an iPhone and you can take the live photos, like those are essentially little videos. So you can string some of those together and it like makes it a reel that looks like a video, but it's just like you taking those live photos. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say a live photo?
Totally.
Yeah.
My mom has her camera like accidentally always set to that setting. And I'm like, ooh, let's see what they're talking about.
Yeah, because now it like has sound if you like hold it. I know, because my kids are always like screaming in them and they like look happy, but if you hold it, it's like "Rah!" It's like chaos.
Big fan of the lives.
So yeah, the live photos are kind of cool because you can like string those together. But you could just like if you're an entrepreneur, like you could do a behind the scenes of your workspace, but just like take photos if you're not ready to like be in it or be dancing. Like you could be like, here's my work area. Or let's say another one that's kind of fun, I think, is like a before and after. But if you like just going back to the workspace, like let's say you're like, oh, my workspace is a mess. You could like take a picture of it or like film a little bit of a video and like do a little snap. And then that would be the transition to like my desk is clean. Like something like that. Like I think the before and afters are kind of fun.
That's a great one.
Yeah. And then I mean I see people doing things too, like almost like meditations or just like daily affirmations. And you could just, film like I'm like, I don't know, icicles melting where you live. Although I guess yours probably stay frozen. But like the river flowing or something in nature, like the leaves blowing on the thing, and just like film that as a video, but you can put whatever words you want or whatever sound you want over it. So
Yeah.
those are kind of like fun ways to show up without like really showing up, I guess, like not feeling so vulnerable and like in there.
Yeah. All right. So let's say somebody wants to like sit down and brainstorm a list of ideas. Where do you, I guess, well, how do you get your ideas? Is it from watching the ones that are like with the trending sounds? Is it from watching other people's reels? Do you just get them? Like, tell me about the
Yeah,
idea.
no, yeah. I mean, you said like don't copy, which I totally feel like is duh. But I mean not duh, like you shouldn't have said it, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, I agree. Duh, I agree. Like, duh, you don't even have to say that. But like watching other reels and being like, oh, that's fun. Like I'm saying, sorry. We're keeping it cash, it's fine. Is my computer making a noise or we're good?
Nope.
Okay, good. So
You said don't copy.
yeah, don't copy. Thank you. Yes. But you can look through and so the thing is too, like the trending sounds, there are trending sounds on Reels, and in the bottom left corner, there's like a little arrow pointing up, and that just means it's like trending. It's like on its way up. So those sounds, Instagram is like sharing more frequently. So if you use those sounds, the idea is that more people will see it. So it's kind of a good idea. Like if you see one, and especially if it's trending and it like works with your brand or you think it's funny, to redo that. And so it's not even copying. Sometimes it's like if you watch a reel that's like for a dog trainer, maybe, and it's like something like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And the point of the reel is to say like, yes, you can. It's like arguing something. I could see that. I'm not a dog trainer, but like I work with people and make their graphic design, like their personal brands, and maybe I could say something like, you don't need to niche down, which is like controversial. Maybe it's, but it like goes with what they were doing. You just like model that same behavior or that same pattern, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And
Got
change it. So you're kind of copying, but you're not copying, because unless you're like also a dog walker who just legit copies the whole thing, you're just looking for inspiration about like, what's funny? How can that work with me? I see a lot of ones about like tired moms that I totally relate to and I think are funny. And then I'm like, could this work with something I'm doing? And so you just have to think like that, I guess.
Okay, I think I would guess an answer to this, but I'd like to hear your answer. So what do you do when it takes you forever to make a reel? Like, we don't want to be spending our day. I mean, that is like a huge time suck when you're first starting, especially. So what do you do if it takes you forever? And hello to everybody that's saying hi. And somebody said, yeah, I actually wanted to bring up this comment. She said, it takes so long to make a short video. And that is so true.
Yes. Okay. So I would say just like what? Okay. There's like making hard reels is taking a long time, or there's just like it's a new thing and you have to like practice a little bit. So it's going to take you a while until you get better. Like for me, stories used to take me forever, and still sometimes I feel like
you're like, why does it keep going behind the other icon?
I know, I'll have it like all perfect, and I'll go to like just adjust a sticker, and then all of a sudden like yeah. So it's again, and I have to remind myself, I'm like, okay, but also I'm like, did I need 5 stickers on this story? So trying to ask yourself, like, what am I doing? Like, does it have to be this complicated? So I like to tell my people, my clients, my students, whatever, to just okay, I don't know why I'm keeping it a secret that I have the membership. You already mentioned it. So let me just say, in the membership.
Yeah.
I color code them, like green is easy, yellow is medium, and red is a hard one.
Brilliant.
So the more like different text bubbles you're going to put on, the more different like transitions you're going to do. Like you're in the red zone, like stay away from those. And in my membership, I only do like 2 or 3 of those a month. Because I'm like,
if you're familiar with skiing analogies, it's like being on a double black diamond when you just started at, I don't know, I think blue was the beginning or something, but maybe
don't do it. Like I feel like, and I know people are like, oh, and some people, you talked about pointing and dancing, but I get pushback sometimes on lip syncing. But that's like those are the easiest ones, to be honest. Like if you find one that's like, I feel like last month there was a trending sound that was like, what's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say out loud? And then it's like silence. And all you have to do is lip sync those words and then pop something up that your audience would relate to on there. Like I just said a minute ago, like you don't have to niche down. Like that's something I would probably get a lot of hate for from some people in the industry. And I'm done. Like it's just me. And then the even easier version of that is don't even lip sync. So when the sound is saying like, what's something you'd get a lot of hate for if you said out loud, you just be like, and the sound is saying that. So I don't even have to like match up my lips. And then I just pop up the text. You don't have to niche down. Yeah. And I'm like done with my reel. So I think just like thinking about, I mean, and obviously we know there's like people who love making reels. And I know I have a reel membership, but I don't like love it. Like I'm not like looking for the next best transition. I don't want to like do my hair. Like I don't, snap and change my clothes. Like, I'm like, we're just trying to like get in front of some people. And like, for me, my point of my reels is usually just to like connect with them about something that is probably like irritating them. So I guess in like, you're like a writer. So like a pain point, usually. Like I talk a lot about like courses you haven't finished or like being feeling nervous about being in front of the camera. Like I just use reels to like connect. I think the harder ones are when you start to be like, boom, boom, here's 3 tips for, you know, branding yourself. Like 1, 2, 3. Like that's a red. That's too hard. I'm not doing that. It takes too long. I'd rather be like, do one that quickly says, you know, don't be afraid to be you. And
Yeah,
then
I think what you're pulling through here is like the real purpose of, I mean, the purpose of all social media. Sorry, no, I'm not going to say the purpose of all social media, because the purpose of social media is to be social and connect with people. But in our businesses, we often use it to connect with our clients or potential clients or community, and contribute to the conversation in that way. And we have to remember that, like, if reels is something you want to use, which it's great for your visibility on Instagram, you have to take it back to the why am I doing this? And that why probably doesn't mean, oh, I should spend 6 hours making this one reel, you know?
Well,
That,
and think about which ones do you like? Like, have you ever, like, for me, I mean, I'm always just like home with my kids and my husband. So usually the one I'm like, hey, Matt, haha, it's like a quick, funny, just like a one liner, punchy, something funny. Rarely am I like, oh, this person taught me 3 tips. Let me go write them all down. Like, I don't feel like for me, like when I'm just like scrolling through reels, I'm not signed up for a course. Like I'm not trying to learn. I'm not listening to a podcast. Like that's where I learn. So I would say if you still want to do posts like the 3 tips, that's a great like carousel post to go through and it will take you way less time. I'm sure most of you are like more familiar with Canva and you could just make a post to give your 3 tips and then just keep reels for like a funny little one-liner here and there.
there's huge value in entertaining and also showing your personality. So I love that, you can take it that route too. And it doesn't always have to be educational.
I think the message of like serve your audience, like we forget there's like more than one way to serve. Like I think most people hear you have to serve your audience and they just hear like give them tips, give them education. And I would say like if you do something that's like wellness involved, like having that like quiet time or that scroll and then it's like a meditation or something like that might be more valuable to them than 3 tips on how to meditate today,
Yep.
like that could connect with them easier and quicker and be easier for you to make.
So why don't you tell what happens in your Reels membership and how people can get in on it?
Yeah. Okay, so the Reels membership, it comes out on the first of every month and there's 13 Reels. It's $13 a month. And I find 13 trending sounds and I break them down into like a little table so that it tells you like what the sound is saying, what you could be doing, like whether that's lip syncing or maybe pointing or adding photos or whatever, and then what your screen should say. So it's like a fill in the blank script, kind of like some of the examples I've been giving, but it's all there for you just in a Google Doc. And you can literally like sit down and plan those 13 reels in like 20 minutes. I mean, I'm not lying, like I've done it. I'm not saying you can make them. I'm saying you can like have a plan. You can make them relate to your client. You can make them relate to your niche for 13 reels in like 20 minutes. But then the cool thing is what I do is I wait for a day when I like take a shower and I look presentable. And then I do get a couple outfits. I mean, 13 reels. Like, let's say I was going to do all of them, but also in my membership, we do not push people to do like one a week is a great like accountability. Like I'm going to make 1 reel a week. That's fine. So I just like film them all too. I have my laptop here and I have my phone and I like have the scripts. So I know exactly what the sound is, what I'm doing, and what the screen is going to say. And then that can get done in like, obviously I've done a few reels, but not as many as Emily is probably making you think that I've done, to be honest. And I've done that in like an hour, like done like 10 in the drafts mode, like ready to post when I want to.
Yeah.
And that's without captions. So again, I know everybody is always like, how to plan your content in 5 seconds for the whole year. So there's phases. Like now I have to write captions, but I think it's just a really good way to get started and know like find the trending sounds and then like have an idea of like, well, how could this, like I work through all the stuff for you, like turning one that I see that's a dog walker into a script that would easily, you could be like, oh, I get it. You know, I know how to make this for me.
And people can ask you questions when they get hung up on things and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we do live co-working and like accountability stuff. And it's nice too, like we all share handles. Like it's not like a, what are those called? Like it's not like a pod or anything, but it's just fun to like see the people who've come and been like, oh, I'm trying to make my first reel. And then you see them post it and you're like, yay, oh my gosh, Heather made a reel or whatever.
Great.
So yeah, it's nice to have that community aspect to it.
For just $13 a month. That's amazing. So
yeah.
And I would guess that like if you're doing one a week and that one a week translated into a client is worth more than $13 a month. So
yeah. And I've seen like I stopped using hashtags as part of my like when I came back and I was like, I'm only gonna do it the way I want to. I was like, I hate hashtags. So I stopped using hashtags, but since I integrated like reels into it, I feel like I'm still growing and I don't have to worry about hashtags. So if you also hate hashtags and you think reels might be a little more fun than hashtags, maybe that's worth a try too.
I like it. All right. So make sure you put your link in the chat.
Okay.
This was fun. And if anybody has any questions, I'm going to go ahead and invite them that they can also put them in this conversation and Deanna will pipe in and answer them for you later or connect with you on Instagram. And also please share your own Instagram handle so that we can follow you on there too.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Emily. All right. Bye.
Real Deanna.